The unemployed doorman. Please tell me, how exactly did it happen? Bela said to his new client after jotting down a few details on the form. Well, you see, I spent a brief 20 years excelling in the field of science. As a doorman at the institute, you know it's an important position on the scientific ladder. Below that of an academic, but decidedly higher than that of laboratory animals. That's for sure. Bela listened with professional interest. I worked at the Institute for Animal Behavior Research, where, besides research, intensive layoffs were underway. That's why I'm here, you understand? Of course, go on. Not long ago, for instance, Dr. Flatfoot was let go. He was an internationally acclaimed researcher of the close, recently discovered, and previously hidden bond between mother cuckoos and their chicks. No way. Yes, the client continued. After Dr. Flatfoot's dismissal, panic broke out at the Institute. So now even reputable scientists, like Flatfoot, in this case, are being shown the door. The researchers fretted, and they began working even harder. Their desperation drove our experimental animals to the brink. Johnny the mare in the lab couldn't even let out a fart anymore. If Johnny let one slip, the counter clicked. The gas analyzer's pump started, and he'd get a sugar cube. But all he wanted was a hot dog. Sounds like a pretty insane workplace, Bela remarked, intrigued by the ex-doorman's story. As the doorman, I had an insider's view of the Institute's affairs. Dr. Cockadoodle's case was the most unsettling. It was well known at the Institute that, as a child, Cockadoodle had posed an enormous question. Do bunnies buy Easter eggs from chickens or not? The answer, they can't buy them, was finally discovered by Cockadoodle 2 years ago. Then last year, after defending his dissertation, Dr. Cockadoodle went on a study trip to Japan. There, he established that rabbits have short tails and long ears. It was a fundamental discovery. Even small children know this, but only separately. It had never been published as a combined observation. And then boom, layoffs. No sooner had Cockadoodle returned from Japan than he was fired. And that same week, so was I. Apparently we weren't doing our jobs well, the client concluded. That's how it is, Bela sympathized. Neither a scientist nor a doorman can flourish in an atmosphere of constant layoffs. And what is Dr. Cockadoodle doing now? He confided in me. He started breeding rabbits on Easter Island, the former doorman said, proudly sharing his connections. Not a bad idea. And what will you do? Bela asked. Next year I'll retire. But until then I might starve to death, the doorman said sadly. Or maybe I'll travel to Easter Island to join Dr. Cockadoodle and work on his rabbit farm. He added, his eyes lighting up with a glimmer of hope.